TreVeyon Henderson game. That's 2 in a row, huh? For TreVeyon Henderson. 3 touchdowns, almost 100 total yards, 5 catches. There's the TreVeyon Henderson game. So if you held on to him, you're pretty excited. I know I am because I have him in a shit ton of leagues. So, but yeah, other than that, I mean, the game kind of went, I think, how we expected, maybe like slightly closer than people thought, but not really. I think the spread was like 13.5, wasn't it? And they won by 13. I forget what it was exactly, but I feel like it was something like 13.5.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah. Diggs had a good game. Mac Hollins, 4 for 64. Justin Fields, I mean, he gave you 12 points on the ground, threw another touchdown. So he had a pretty good fantasy game. But that's about it, really. Breece Hall wasn't great. So just kind of what we expected. Patriots are good. Jets are bad. And maybe for half a quarter there, you thought it was going to be a game. So, but we're here previewing Week 11, answering your Week 11 questions or trade questions, dynasty, all that fun stuff. Make sure to subscribe, of course, and hit that like button for us is the main thing we asked. It's free, takes little to no effort, and we appreciate it. So Paraiko's here saying he trade BTJ and Kamara for McLaurin and DeAndre Swift. He's 8-2. Trade BTJ and Kamara for McLaurin and DeAndre Swift. Latest we heard about McLaurin was what, like week 12 he was going to be out until? Was that him or was that someone else? I know he's out week 11.
Yeah, I was going to say that might have been, I don't know. I got Godwin on the mind, honestly.
Yeah.
So they said not till December for him. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just going to take the 2 healthy players and keep BTJ and Kamara.
Yeah, I think I agree there.
I think the upgrade from Kamara and Swift is good, you know, like as it stands right now. But we saw good usage from Kamara this last week. You know, 22 carries, which is crazy. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna hold there and keep the upside of Brian Thomas. I guess I shouldn't say like 2 healthy players because I wonder, is he gonna play? Is he gonna play this week? I guess we don't know that yet.
No, he's been limited. First 2.
And it was a low ankle sprain with him, right? Not high.
It was a low. I thought it was like a low high ankle sprain or something.
Medium like one of those. Ankle sprain.
Yeah, it was like a high ankle sprain, but it wasn't a serious one or something. That's what I thought, at least.
You know, the ankle's not even that big. Like, how do you have like a low and a high? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at, I guess, everyone's injury report, just seeing how many players are on it. But yeah, BTJ limited. I mean, a lot of their pass catchers, I'm just looking at the Jags. I mean, Bretton Strange limited, Parker Washington limited. So just something to keep an eye on there. Yeah, I think I would keep BTJ and Kamara as well. We don't know when McLaurin is coming back. Is he coming back? I mean, he's missing week 11. Had they had their bye week already? As well. Looks like they haven't. So they have a bye week after this. So you're not seeing McLaurin until November 30th, which is week 13. When are you going to feel comfortable starting him?
Yeah, which is okay if you're 8-2. You know, I guess we don't need to consider that as much, but
yeah, I'll keep the BTJ Kamara side. I'll keep that side. So, but you know, if you believe in a guy like McLaurin when he comes back, I do think you're getting an upgrade with Swift over Kamara, and BTJ hasn't been good this year, so and that could continue pretty easily. So it's kind of what your belief in McLaurin is, I guess. But to me, when I see that, I see that we're not going to see him till week 13. That means you're not going to start him probably till week 14, which again, you're 8-2. So you don't really, this is more of a playoff guy than anything. So, flex 1 PPR, Woody Marks, Rachaad White, Tedero McMillan, DK Metcalf. He says he's leaning Woody versus the Titans. So we're only flexing one of these guys. My gut instinct was Marks as well. And I think I'm going to go with Woody Marks there. They're all relatively close, I would say. Metcalf against Cincinnati is interesting too, but apparently they've been pretty good against number 1 receivers. Is what I heard. So Marks or Metcalf for me. Which way are you leaning there?
Yeah, Woody was my first instinct too. I started looking at all their matchups and everything, and yeah, as soon as I saw the Titans, which he actually says at first I was confused by the leaning thing, but then he kind of retyped it and said he was leaning Woody versus the Titans in the next comment. So yeah, I think that's the right move. I mean, that was Woody's first good game, not that it was all arrows up from there, but he's been a solid producer, and yeah, better offense than Carolina at least, because I was kind of looking at Tedero, sorry. I mean, Metcalf's never been much of a PPR guy in general, and he hasn't been. So, yeah, Woody.
Yeah. Tedero has just been very consistent, kind of like Olave-esque, except Olave's had a couple blow-up games. So you get 2 blow-up games in the next 3 weeks, or even just he continues what he's doing, and then he has 2-3 blow-up games to finish the year. He's going to be, Tedero McMillan was a wide receiver 17 on the year or something, right? Didn't feel like that, but I think it's Woody Marks. Like the usage, I think he played over 80% of the snaps. All the talk coming out of Houston is kind of he's the new running back here. He's probably going to catch a couple of passes. Get a lot of carries against a good matchup. So I like that too. You gonna say something?
Nah, I was just no. Go ahead. Sorry.
So Lucius says he had a super odd one come in the league where a guy doesn't have a kicker this week. Redraft half PPR. Me giving up Kamara and Dicker for Bucky seems like Veto City, but at least accept giving up Kamara and Dicker for Bucky. I mean, we don't know when Bucky's coming back. I don't think that should be vetoable. Is that a word? That should be vetoed.
Veto-esque.
Veto-esque. Veto-like. I don't think it kind of depends on that person's record, but I assume, I don't know, you can't assume that, but if they're not doing too hot or they need a win, 3 of the last 4 weeks, then we don't know when Bucky's coming back. He's not probably back this week. So I don't know if I'm making that trade, if I'm going to make the playoffs. I'll just pick up whatever kickers on the waiver. I assume there's plenty of kickers on the waiver. So I don't know if I've ever seen a trade involving a kicker, to be honest.
No, definitely not. Yeah, you at least accept. Yes. I was going to say the same thing about maybe he just really needs a win this week, but Kamara's on bye. So you can't even really make that argument as much. Obviously it's for the kicker, but I don't know. I would take it. Kamara's only outscored Bucky in half PPR by about 19 points.
Really?
Yeah.
How many games has Bucky played?
He played 4, and Kamara played 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely a really bad trade for the other guy. So yeah, accept it.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know. We don't really believe in vetoes here. Metcalf only had 3 catches against Week 7 against the Bengals. Yeah, I don't take that too much into account. I mean, I don't know. Metcalf has definitely been a pretty big disappointment from what I expected this year. Um, just in terms of I thought Rodgers was just absolutely going to feed him like he does with all his receivers, but I guess Metcalf's just not that type of player. He's been a startable piece, but I expected him to be easy top 20 with wide receiver, top 12 potential, and that just hasn't played out. But
yeah, wide receiver 25 and half PPR, so not a complete bust, but yeah, definitely not as good as where we thought he was going to be.
Yeah, for sure. Akshay says start 1 wide receiver, 1 flex, full PPR, Flowers, BTJ, Ibuka. So between the wide receivers, between Flowers, BTJ, Ibuka, Metcalf, and JMO.
Yeah, it's got to be Ibuka, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's the easy one. Then who we flexing?
Probably
Judkins,
my gut,
right?
Yeah, my gut was Judkins. Is playing Baltimore, so that is kind of concerning. I know Baltimore's fantasy points allowed probably doesn't look terrible, but they have been getting healthy and better, and that could just be potential blowout. And then Judkins is game scripted out a bit. So I think there's definitely a risk there. I mean, probably lean Judkins though.
I'm counting on the Browns defense to kind of keep them in the game at least. We've seen that before. Even when they were kind of we've seen it happen, and we've also seen it not happen to Judkins, and at least there's a little involvement in the passing game the last 2 weeks. So that's good. JMO, I want to see it one more. I want to see it one more week with Dan Campbell calling the plays. Is that a thing moving forward?
I think so.
Play calling. Okay. So for those of you guys don't know, there was a lot of hype from Dan Campbell in the off season about getting Jameson Williams really going, and he took over play calling for last week, and JMO had a huge game. So, and not even a bad game the week before, but I kind of want to see it one more before I'm confident flexing him over Judkins. We know what the usage is. Same thing with Harvey. We don't know what's happening with Dobbins. He didn't get put on IR or anything, right? I know there's talks about it, but
well, if Dobbins doesn't play, does it change for you?
I don't think so. Not against the Chiefs, but also we don't know what the usage is going to be. I don't think Harvey becomes a 60% guy right away.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a little bit too much of a jump. It's the Sean Payton offense, so we don't really know. I'd say it's probably Flowers as a closer third.
Yeah, I think I'm actually leaning Flowers the more I'm looking into it. PPR, and just looking at Flowers' numbers, he's going to give you double-digit PPR points is what it's showing. And if he catches a touchdown, you're really happy. He just hasn't. He has 1 on the year. But 7 for 74, 5 for 72, 6 for 46, 7 for 63, 5 for 64, 4 for 75. So he's literally giving you double-digit PPR points every single game this year except for 1. He just hasn't caught touchdowns, and he doesn't have a huge catch game. But I'm just a little bit worried about Judkins kind of game scripted out. So yeah, I think it is close. I probably lean Flowers though, PPR for the safety a little bit. So, but definitely Ibuka, and then you kind of make that decision there if you want to go Flowers or Judkins. That's kind of where we're at there, actually. Start 1 running back, Judkins or Chase Brown. I think it's Chase Brown for me.
Yeah, I think so. As long as Flacco's going to play, right? Did he get a full practice in today?
He was limited, or that might have been yesterday actually, but they kind of said it was following a little bit of how I did last week.
Yeah, even before the bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the dude's as old as me, so like there
True.
you go.
I mean, damn, Burrow was limited and Flacco not practicing. Yeah, it seems like he's kind of like on track, but there is a chance that something goes out. So if Flacco's out, then you're gonna pivot to Judkins.
Yeah, I think so. Just because
Okay.
we saw Chase Brown be pretty shitty with Jake Browning behind under center, so I think that'll be the deciding factor for me.
Yeah, Chase Brown though, with the last couple of weeks has been really good. He's getting like all the work. Really good, like for over 100 scrimmage yards, 3 straight games. Has an 8 catch game in there, a 2 touchdown game. So yeah, I think it's Chase Brown. Should I sell high on Henderson? Worry about his usage when Rhamondre comes back. You can, assuming this is redraft, of course. You have CMC, Taylor, Woody, Harvey, Benson. You have a pretty good, with CMC, Taylor, Woody is your top, Henderson and Woody is like your top 4. Yeah, I would explore selling high. Sure. There's also a chance though they don't like put this back. Like they've seen what he's been doing, and he's obviously a little bit more efficient, and they trust him enough. They're playing him a lot. So although he wasn't really that efficient running the ball today, 19 carries, 62 yards.
Yeah, I would try and package a couple of these guys to. I mean, everyone's always needs running backs, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe even try and target the Kyron manager, including Corum in a deal. But you're probably gonna get a lot more bites on, like between Woody, Harvey, Benson, all like the upside, and Henderson. What he just did, obviously, you can't really trade him this week necessarily. I mean, you could, but just don't know how that works in individual leagues. Like I've seen it where it just kind of goes through, but it like pushes it to next week for a player who's already played. But you're going to get a lot more in return. Like try and upgrade a receiver or package one of them with a wide receiver 3 and try and move up into a guy with a top 15 upside or something.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is a pretty smart move to potentially sell high on him. But Rhamondre wasn't great. Like his yards per attempt wasn't great. His yards per reception was good. So, but yeah, they definitely could just use him a lot when he comes back. It wouldn't be shocking. So I think it's smart to play around with it. But just traded for RJ Harvey. Do I start him or Woody Marks? I'm leaning towards Marks. Yeah, I would go Marks. Yeah.
Yeah, the Marks, not just because of the matchup. That's a huge part of it, but also we've seen the usage. Like we've already kind of talked about that one. Going back to Travion, I'm about like a week and a half away from in one of my dynasty leagues. Like I was really starting to try and figure out like to consolidate to make a playoff run because I'm doing really well in it. It's a PPR league, 12 teams start 10. And I was talking to you about this off the air. I was like, do I go after Bijan? And I was like, I have Odunze and Travion that I was kind of like, oh, this should be interesting enough to trade those 2 guys. It was before Henderson's last 2 games, this tonight and the week before. Give those 2 guys and a first for, Stafford to be my quarterback 3, along with May and Herbert plus Bijan. I'm just wondering if I should even do that anymore. Like I kind of feel like I don't include the first anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's how fast things change. I think I had an offer sitting in a league. It was Scadaboo and Henderson and maybe something else for like in H-hand, basically. And I had it sitting there for a while, and then I was like, oh, let me go check if that's still sitting after like seeing Henderson score a second touchdown, and it was. I was like, let me just withdraw this for now because I don't want to regret it, So yeah, I think it definitely has changed, especially if that team's not doing well, which it sounds like they're potentially not, right? You're trying
No,
to
yeah, they're kind of floating towards the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, Joe, start Woody Marks. Just don't know, like it's just not Sean Payton's MO to like give one running back a bunch of carries. I do think Harvey's gonna be better than what he has been, but they're probably gonna use Tyler Beatty. They might even use a guy like McLaughlin and Estime, I think, is still on the practice squad. He might be on a different team actually. Now that I think about it, yeah, he's on the Saints. I think they picked him up. So, but Jaleel McLaughlin is still there. So, they could use him as well, which I wouldn't be surprised if they do. So,
was he on the practice squad?
McLaughlin might have been. Might have been.
He was a healthy scratch last week.
Okay, so he was on the active roster then.
Yeah. Okay. So he's played a couple of snaps in one game. So I don't know. I guess if they think that he can replace what Dobbins is doing, the role anyways. Like Sean Payton seems to be a big role type of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's not like, oh, this guy is hurt, bring up the next one, and he just does everything that guy was doing. Like it's like more Niners shit, it seems like.
Yeah.
Shanahanigans. Yeah.
By the way, Jaleel McLaughlin went to Youngstown State, and they are the Penguins. So going back to our bird conversation.
The birds.
Made some trades, and it's time to get sicko on the waivers. Pick up which of the two of Marshawn Lloyd, Jalen Wright, Joe Milton, LaQuint Allen, Mitchell Evans. Is this dynasty?
It has to be.
Yeah, I mean, but then those names I feel like probably should be rostered, but I guess it depends on your roster sizes.
I don't know.
I mean, no one's talking about LaQuint Allen in redraft, or Mitchell Evans and
even Joe Milton. Like what the
yeah.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, I'd probably be picking up some of these running backs, to be honest. Mitchell Evans, I think he has some intriguing qualities, but the reality is he's probably not going to be much. We just the path for running backs are so easy to be relevant. Like, so I'd be picking these up. I know Marshawn Lloyd can't stay healthy. Is Jalen Wright even healthy? I know he's not really playing much, but I'd probably be picking those two up. Maybe LaQuint Allen if you prefer him, but I think I'm sticking with these running backs. I mean, maybe Joe Milton if it's super flex. So I assume it's not. If it's super flex, then maybe you throw Joe Milton in one of the running backs. But if it's not, I'm two of those running backs. It is dynasty, so that makes sense.
Yeah. I think I'll do Wright and I don't know. I guess Joe Milton.
Even in one QB?
No, not in one QB. Then I'll probably go LaQuint Allen. Rams, right?
LaQuint Allen's on the Jags.
Oh, well, shit. What was I thinking about?
Probably Jarquez Hunter.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know.
LaQuint Allen was like their 6th or 7th round pick in the draft. So people were thinking like, oh, it's going to, Tootin. Obviously they drafted him. They still had Bigsby, but they were thinking like, oh, like Tootin and LaQuint Allen are the new backfield. It is super flex. So yeah, go ahead and pick up Joe Milton then. The one thing about Joe Milton is people love him. People love him. And there's people still that talk about him replacing Dak and stuff. And so if he gets a chance, he has a big arm and he can run. If he gets a chance to be a starter, like, you're going to be able to flip him for, you're going to be able to just capitalize on him whenever, if he ever gets a chance as a starter, because of a Dak injury or something. So yeah, I'd definitely be picking up Joe Milton in Superflex. Is Brees Hall a hold in PPR? 12 team start, 7 other backs are Judkins, Chase Brown, Hendo, Charbonnet, Tucker. Also got JSN Ibuka, CD Ott, and Loveland. Yeah, I feel like people aren't really going to trade for Brees Hall. I assume this is redraft. Actually, I think you're a redraft player. So, I mean, Brees Hall's been disappointing, man. Like, do I think he's talented and could have a big season next year when he goes to another team? Yes, but that doesn't really help us this year. I don't know. I do think he's a hold just because I don't think you can get good value for him.
Yeah, definitely you're holding him over Sean Tucker. I mean, that's like the easy one right there.
I think he's talking about trading him potentially.
Oh.
Yeah. Not dropping him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. When I hear a hold, like, I'm just kind of like, I guess that makes more sense. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, I feel like maybe not. Jets schedule does, like, it looks better. They do get the Ravens next week, which doesn't look great, but then they get Falcons, Dolphins, Jags, Saints, and then Patriots in the fantasy championship. So we could see a little bit of a run here for Brees Hall. Aren't the Jags really bad against running backs?
Yeah.
I guess they're more middle towards the tougher end.
Oh.
So I thought they were.
I mean, in a 12 teams start 7, right? That means you're flexing one of those receivers, like you're flexing Ibuka, basically.
Yeah.
Right. And so you're only starting 2 of these running backs anyways. So you can try and upgrade, but unless your league's a little savvy, like, try and turn a couple of these guys who would be starters on most teams into a real stud. It's so shallow. Like, those guys are really going to, like, make a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah, if you could do that, if there's someone who, like, needs to win out and one of their studs is on a bye next week or something, you can try and make that kind of move, Brees Hall and I don't know, one of those guys or something, and try to make a move. But yeah, I just don't know. You're not really going to get much better than JSN Ibuka CD. Like, what? Very few guys that you're going to get that you're going to be starting over those 3. So I don't think Brees Hall is going to bring that back to you. So probably a hold, but always explore. I'm scared if I get Joe Milton, I'll convince myself to hold him for the next 3 years. That's true. But again, when it comes to Dynasty, I mean, unless you play in deeper leagues, you just want to stock up on running backs and backup quarterbacks in Superflex, because the trade value is better. Their path to relevancy is better. If you play in deeper leagues, like our listener leagues where we're starting 12, like, a guy like Mac Hollins becomes a useful piece, as he has a decent game. And, I started him in a couple of leagues and stuff like that out of necessity. And, he gives me, 12 points or whatever. So, like, those
trying to tank or
hey, he's been better than BTJ this year.
Wide receiver 1 on the week.
Yeah,
I don't even know if that's true. I missed a lot of it tonight.
He might be. But yeah, so running backs and quarterbacks. Tez Johnson or Troy Franklin?
It's got to be Troy. Well, actually, I mean, potential shootout for both games. I was gonna say Tez. I'll say better quarterback, especially passer, and against Buffalo, but Franklin's been more involved. Literally, what is this? Almost 40 targets in the last 4 games, like 9, 10, 8, 10. He's out targeting Cortland Sutton. Yeah, I think I'm going to lean Troy Franklin.
Yeah, that's fine. They're very close. Like, I'm just looking at since like Tez started coming on, he's actually been better than Troy Franklin in that same span in points per game.
Wait, in what span?
Since like Tez started to actually play, which is like right around week 5, I believe. At least that was his first like good game. I guess he really started to play in week 6. Is when he got over 70% of the snaps. So if we look at it from week 6 to 10, which is obviously a pretty small sample size, and Tez had a bye. But yeah, he's been about a point per game better. But then I don't know when Franklin really started to play more. I feel like he's been kind of playing a decent amount most of the season. So yeah, it's kind of a toss up. I think I probably lean what's the better matchup, and it feels like it's the Bills are the better matchup. So I might just go Tez for that reason. But it's close. It is very, very close there. Packers defense or Cowboys defense? Who are they playing?
Packers are playing Washington. Shit.
Yeah, Giants.
Oh, I was like, I know it's a team that's not been doing well.
Cowboys versus the Raiders.
Oh, well, they're both playing shit teams, I guess. If Darkness is, what's that?
Isn't Jameis starting?
Oh yeah, that's right. Damn, that's 2 interceptions right there on the books.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably go Packers.
Yeah.
I'll go Packers. Just a better defense, although I don't know how good they actually are, but they are a better defense. So crazy to think you're even debating starting the Cowboys defense. I understand because of the matchup, but they might have improved as well. So yeah, Packers. But yeah, week 11. We're here. 4 more weeks, and we are into the fantasy playoffs here. So,
good stuff. I clinched playoffs in both of our home leagues this last week. So, suck it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have noticed either unless you pointed it out. And I just barely looked up our home dynasty league. It's like, all right, cool. Things are going along.
You just need that number 1 seed.
I'm there right now.
Yeah, in both, right?
Just gotta hold. Yeah. I'm actually playing. I'm playing my brother-in-law. Our brother-in-law? No, I don't know. I don't know if Brandon's considered your brother-in-law, but whatever.
No.
He's an asshole, so it doesn't matter. I'm playing him in 2 leagues, so
yeah, it seems. I wonder if Sleeper does something like where they do that, because I feel like there's a lot of crossover when it comes to that.
I'm pretty sure I played him in both leagues earlier this year. I don't know. It couldn't have been these 2 though, because one's a 10 team and one's a 12. So this must be the first time I'm playing him. Poseidon, I would guess. I don't know. It's kind of funny because like there's one in my Orphan Dynasty League. I'm playing, like, I was kind of like looking through the schedule, and I'm actually playing a team this week. Like, I don't know if it must not reshuffle necessarily. I don't know. I haven't been paying that much attention, but I'm playing a team I just played 2 weeks ago, which is weird. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And he's like the number 1 team.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, I barely beat him 2 weeks ago. And I'm gonna have to do it again.
Yeah, that is strange, but yeah, I feel like with Sleeper, they do that. I don't know. I noticed they would like play Bree in both leagues. I think I played Dad in a couple of leagues. I don't know. I just felt like maybe it's just a coincidence. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, when you're in like 4 leagues with the same people, it's like it's gonna happen every now and then. It does seem like Sleeper just has like a regular rotation. I know that's not what you're saying, but like I played Cuddy in the first week and I'm playing him in week 12, and I played Dad in week 2 and I'm playing him in week 13.
Yeah. Well, I know they do the thing where like you can see like on waivers and stuff, like is this, it shows you if you use the phone, that is, it shows you like this player's available across all your leagues, and you can just like add them, click a couple buttons, and you try to put a claim in for all your leagues rather than going to them separately and stuff.
Yeah.
So, should Jeff drop Jordan Mason for Spears or Hunt?
I don't know. I mean, Kareem Hunt's probably been the best player out of all these guys, right?
Yeah, probably.
So
I'm not excited
I
to
wouldn't
stop.
What?
I'm just not excited to start Kareem Hunt, though.
Oh, I'm not either. That's for sure. If you're starting a guy this week, he's probably the best one to start. Like, I'm not dropping him from Tajay Spears, because even if something happens to Pollard, what the hell is Spears going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he could be better than what Pollard was at the beginning of the year, which wouldn't even be that much. But that was a running back on Tennessee essentially getting the majority of the work or all of the work. And it didn't really turn into like anything you were excited to start about, or you know what I'm saying? Excited to start, not excited to talk about, I guess is what I was going for. But
yeah,
not doing it for Spears. And what do we know about Pacheco? Is he gonna play this week?
I'm not sure. Fun fact,
still no practice.
Fun fact, though, Jordan Mason has been the best of these 3. So, by 2 points, basically, over Kareem Hunt. So, both played the same amount of games. Yeah, if you're starting one, then yeah, it's Kareem Hunt. If I'm not starting any of these guys, if they're on my bench, I'm probably just going to keep Jordan Mason.
Same,
because I think he has the most upside there. So, and we kind of saw that, middle of the year beginning of the year when Aaron Jones was hurt. So, yeah. Start one, Genty or Chase Brown. Probably Genty.
Oh, I'm thinking, well, I guess they are playing Dallas. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just
Who are you
don't
benching over these guys?
Yeah, right. I'm kind of leaning Chase. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking the offense is going to be better, so more touchdown opportunity. But Genty has been scoring more, so just over the season. So yeah, I don't know. I don't feel super strong about that, but I think I'm going Chase.
Yeah, last few weeks Chase has been a little bit better, like the last couple of weeks. But yeah, I think I go Genty. I just trust who I think is the better player there. So, and a good matchup. Both good matchups, I think, or not tough matchups. But yeah, I'd like to know who you are benching over those guys. Um,
It's probably a two running back situation, and he's got like CMC or Bijan or something.
yeah. Yeah, probably. Interesting stuff with Travis Hunter. Obviously, he's done for the year, and just like like the vibe and the language around it all is kind of like, yeah, it originally started as like this guy's generational, and he's gonna change football forever. He's gonna play 80% of the snaps on both sides of the ball. That's what like Liam Cohen said, and now it's like maybe he's not a two-way player, like type of vibe. I don't know. It's something to keep an eye on for Dynasty because I don't just assume that if they decide he's just a one side of the ball guy that it's going to be receiver. What they do with BTJ over the next in the off season will kind of show something. I assume they're not going to do anything with BTJ, but I don't know, just something to watch out there. Like, might be smart to potentially get out of Hunter if you can still get really good value for him. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as before the season, but if you can get pretty good value for him, I might be looking to pivot there. So wanted to bring that up. Do you have Travis Hunter anywhere?
No, I don't actually.
Yeah.
I went really light in picks in our startups this year.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a first in our home dynasty league, and some of the other ones he went earlier than I would have taken him.
Yeah. Yeah, he was going pretty high. I mean, look at 50 Cal saying like he took Hendo over him at the 103 and people were calling him crazy. So that's kind of where like Travis Hunter got to like that top 5 type of pick basically in most leagues.
Yeah, he was definitely in that discussion. He was there when I picked that 5, and I took in one of my leagues, and I took Henderson as well.
Yeah, which I mean, up until 2 weeks ago, it was like who was better. You'd probably prefer Hunter at that point, but obviously that's changed a little bit.
Yeah, 5 touchdowns in 2 weeks will do that.
Yep, and a knee injury or whatever it was for Hunter was some kind of knee injury. So, and that's another thing on top of it. Like, if he starts piling up these injuries, they're not gonna. He's not going to be playing a lot. Maybe he plays on both sides of the ball, but it's not going to be anywhere near to where like he reached this year, even where I think he got to like 60% on both at one point. So I don't know. There's going to be some interesting conversations with that. Like, he's going to be intriguing. He was a very polarizing and intriguing player. For rookie drafts, I was kind of out on him until the last minute, and then I kind of like said, "Nah, this guy's just like the more you watch him play with receivers, like he's just too good and stuff." But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who think that he's better as a quarterback, and so that's going to suck if he, becomes more of a one-way player and it's just the cornerback side of things. So unless you play an IDP, I guess.
I mean, Dad was definitely one of those guys who was like, I just don't see it happening.
The two sides.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to figure out what the fuck did Parker Washington do last week? He must have ran something in. I don't know. I'm just looking at him. I was looking at Jags. Oh.
He had a return touchdown.
Got it. I was just looking at him like, what the hell happened? How did he get 22 points in our home dynasty league? Man, I feel bad because I dropped him the week of their bye to pick up. I don't even remember. Probably someone shitty.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I need a player for this week. Too many buys and stuff. And then, of course, the injuries happen, and he's been awesome. So,
Yeah.
egg on my
he's been
face.
good. He has been good, unless you don't get punt return touchdowns for points.
Bullshit.
Well, I mean, some people, I don't know. Some people think you shouldn't. I mean, there's a big debate on it. Like, no, because like, oh, if you start the Jags defense, then you're getting a touchdown twice, essentially, right? But
Yeah. That was always my argument.
Yeah, and I was always just like, if they score a touchdown, they should get points. Even the fumble recover one. I think there was some. I think Sleeper automatically does it, but there's other leagues where you actually had to like make that setting. But you don't really think about that. Like, oh, make fumble recover touchdowns. Like, when's that going to happen? And of course, it's going to happen. So, there's always something with fantasy.
Like when the quarterback like gets a ball batted and then they end up catching it and scoring a touchdown. Do they get a receiving and passing touchdown on that?
I think so. I think
that would be some shit.
Yeah, I think Mariota, because that happened with Allen last year, but it was a lateral back to him. It wasn't a batted, it was a lateral, and so he got both. But yeah, I think Mariota had that. Marcus Mariota had that happen. So Brett Favre's first completion was to himself. Fun fact. Someone else's as well. I feel like a rookie this year it happened to him. So a little bar trivia, if that still exists, or if people just verify it with ChatGPT or something. Your thoughts. I traded Henderson and Collins for Amon-Ra, Bucky, Hampton, Achane. So Travion Henderson and Nico Collins for Amon-Ra. I mean, you're probably thinking that's a mistake now, right? Like after Henderson's 3 touchdown game, but I assume you made it, before this game. And I don't think it was a terrible trade. I mean, they both have been, both Henderson and Nico kind of disappointing up until the last couple of weeks. So I think now I would want the Hendo Nico side.
I think. Wait, what's that? You want the Henderson Nico side?
Like where we stand right now, but I don't mind that trade. Like,
I think it just depends on like the league also and everything. Like, I think that's probably what it took. For some reason, I just because we were kind of talking dynasty, I was thinking kind of dynasty brain. But I mean, Amon-Ra is like set it and forget it. Like you're never benching him really. And
doesn't have a particularly deep team though.
What's that?
He doesn't have a particularly deep team.
Yeah, but at least now you get to start Rice and St. Brown. Obviously, you need Bucky to come back because, and Hampton. You could be in a lot of trouble actually with Bucky and Hampton out.
Yeah.
Still, so hopefully you are 8-2, 9-1, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's all hindsight, but I would have probably, where we stand now, kept the Henderson Nico side. And again, like your team's not super deep. You have like, Rice and Amon-Ra and Achane. Like that's of course your quarterback and stuff, but like Hampton's injured, Bucky's injured, Parker Washington is into your flex, but like he's 6-4. So it's going to be interesting last 4 weeks. I mean, again, I don't think we're judging this based off of what we know from Thursday Night Football, which is a little bit unfair considering you made that trade before, right? So I don't think it was necessarily a bad move. We'll just see if it's going to actually work out, So the Citizen says in PPR he got offered Tet, Rico, and Pittman for CD, DK, and DeMarcado. I'm 3-6. He's 3-6-1 record wise. He's a game out of eighth. Is eighth a playoff spot, a Citizen, or are you just saying you're a game out of eighth place? So he needs to win. He got offered Tet, Rico, and Pittman. So Pittman's on a bye. Tetaroa is in Rico. So eighth is the playoff spot. I mean, no.
I mean, Tet and Rico for CD. You want CD?
Yeah.
Unless you really need that extra body. I mean, Pittman and DK are probably pretty close. Like,
but Pittman's on a bye this week, and he's 3-6-1. So that just might make me lean DK if I'm starting all those guys.
Still two starters though. You're not starting DeMarcado, right? So
I mean, maybe. I mean, with what's his face out? Bam Knight, Trey Benson.
He was limited at practice today. Okay.
Who?
Bam
Benson. Oh, Bam.
No. Bam.
Oh, well, then maybe Bam. I mean, probably not. But like, I need the starters. Like, you're starting. Who else is on a bye this week? Is it that no Panthers are playing? So, I mean, you're also heavily relying on the Panthers offense a little bit too, in Rico and Tetaroa. I'm going to keep CD and DK.
That's true.
But I don't necessarily disagree with you. Like, if they were all playing this week, then maybe you take the other side 3 for 2. But if it's a shallow league, CD is one of those guys that can just absolutely win you your week, more often than not. So, yeah, I think you keep CD side there, Citizen. And 8 teams make the playoffs. It's nice. Only a game out at 3-6-1. Crazy that you tied. Actually, we had a tie. Oh no, it was in the other listener dynasty league that you're not in. We had a tie in that league, and that's a 2 decimal point one. I didn't even notice when it happened. I just noticed a week or two ago. It's like, oh shit. It's like 2 people that tied. That's kind of crazy. I don't know if it was median or they played each other, but can you tie in the median? We figured you could, right?
That's what we were. I remember asking you that. I was like, what if 6th and 7th place in a 12-team league tie? Because then the median is their score.
Yeah.
So do both get it or neither get it?
Or maybe it goes down as a tie. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it does go down as a tie.
I'll have to go back and look.
So they would get 2, but you would get 2 tie points then because your score's tied, and then you're each got a half point for median.
Unless they didn't play each other.
No, I'm saying if they did play each other.
Oh, if they did, yeah. I don't know what would happen.
Yeah,
that'd be weird, huh? I have to go back and look when that actually happened.
Do they each just get 1 loss and 1 win?
I don't know. There's 16-3-1, 7-12-1. So I have to go back and see what happened there. Quentin Johnston, if he plays, or Slayton. Ladd's still questionable. I mean, if Ladd doesn't play, I'll pivot to Quentin Johnston. But if he does, I mean, I'm probably starting Slayton. Jameis Winston, we're hoping just goes crazy. Slayton's been pretty good as of late. And, Quentin Johnston, not as much. So D Slayton, still doing it.
So if Ladd plays, you're going to play Slayton over Huge.
Yeah, and I still might even play Slayton over Huge if Ladd's out, to be honest.
Wow.
Which side are you on?
I think I'm just going to fire Huge up again.
Even if Ladd plays?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, Slayton's been decently better than him. I guess over just the last couple of weeks. I mean, last 3 weeks, I guess you can say.
Yeah, I mean that 0 game really hurts, right? But it happened. But I mean, Slayton had 2 for 26 that week, so it's not like he did himself a whole lot of favors.
Yeah, get the JMO bump or Jameis bump.
Yeah.
They are playing the Packers, so yeah, you could just trust the better quarterback too. I was up 2.3 last week. He had AJ Brown. Did AJ Brown not score?
I don't think he did. He had like 1 catch in like the first quarter, and I think that was it.
So sad. Yeah, that game was kind of bad. It was like 10-7, right? So
it was actually he was 2 for 13. So wait, is that when you scored? Yeah, okay. That's so sad. It was like
I mean,
he would have got.
Yeah, it's definitely a win for you though. You're going into that game like, I lost, and you get that tie. So
I lost a matchup by less than a point on that Aaron Rodgers touchdown right at the end that didn't end up meaning shit. So I was a little sad, but the icing on the cake. Oh, sorry, that was 2 weeks ago. I'm thinking about 2 different games. Sorry. But no, last week I went into this is PPR too. I went into the week or the Monday night game. I needed Romeo Doubs to get, like, if he got like 2 points, he was gonna beat me. And he got that wasn't until like the fourth quarter either, or maybe halftime. I don't know. He played 62% of the snaps. He had 1 catch for 5 yards.
Yeah, that's wild.
And I was like, holy shit.
I always remember that Ridley game when you Ridley needed like 1 catch or something, and you were playing against
oh yeah,
Joe, my old buddy Joe that used to play with us, and like the whole game we're just waiting for it. It never happened.
Yeah, he just kept dropping it. Dude, one of my worst losses. I mean, I remember your worst loss. That shit was hilarious. You could tell that one if you remember it.
Oh, the kneel down. Or no, it was I think it was. I can't remember if it was a kneel down or tackle for loss.
No, I think it was a pass that went for -1 yards, and you lost by like 0.02 points or something like that.
Yeah, there's something about like -1 yard.
Yeah,
it literally said like the only way I can lose if this player gets a negative yard or something. So
yeah, it could have been a kneel down. But I had a matchup where I was winning. They had no other players, and I think it was Tyler Lockett caught a pass, fumbled it, got knocked out of the game, and I lost because he had negative points. It was such bullshit. It was, like, ever since then, I was like, man, do I just bench my players if I'm up?
Yeah, it's definitely a strategy, but if there's median scoring and stuff, I guess. I remember when Josh played with us the first time. It was going into a Monday night game, and I was winning, and Josh didn't have like a defense or something, and like he hadn't made a move for like a month, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna block him because he's not gonna pick this guy up. He has to drop this player, and he did it and like beat me or something. He just like woke up out of nowhere randomly, and so I was like, oh, okay. I beat Jonathan Taylor last week because your wife didn't really start a full roster there. Also because I had Jahmyr Gibbs, so that helps too. I don't even know if it would have mattered.
If she had a little bit. Yeah, she's been a little. I think she's feeling the fatigue a little again.
Yeah. Do you think Henderson owns the backfield or share with Ramondre? Yeah, it's tough. I mean, 50 Cal mentions it. Like, he's improved his blocking. The fact that they have him out there a lot means they trust him. They also don't really have they have like Terrell Jennings, who's also a rookie. So they don't really have like a veteran. So it's tough to know. Like, it really is tough to know what they're going to do. I'd be surprised if Ramondre just disappeared. I would assume he gets at least 35-ish, 40% of the snaps, maybe more. Ramondre, that is. So
Dude,
it's really, really hard.
The Patriots running back room on Sleeper is 10 guys. I've never seen anything that deep before. It's like, wait, who are these fucking guys? Lan Larison and Brock Lampy? I don't fucking know.
So it's showing all their practice squad guys.
I guess. I don't know. I've never seen that before.
So they have 3. Yeah, so Brock Lampy is a fullback. I remember Lan Larison. He's a rookie at UC Davis. He's on IR. And then, they have a bunch of practice squad guys. Rashawn Baker.
They still got Gibson labeled there. So, but I don't know. Still, 10 guys? Like, I've never seen more than 4, I feel like.
Yeah, they're showing everyone. I guess Dearness Johnson was there, and Dearness Johnson is like a guy that you can rely on as a pass blocker. So yeah, they trust Henderson, which is good. All right, last one here, and then we'll take off. Otten or Loveland. I think it's Otten. Yeah, Otten's. I think we discover last time, like, oh shit, Otten's been really good. The last few weeks. So it's one of those players I don't have on any teams, I don't think. And so sometimes they slip under the radar a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Otten's been really good in the last 5 weeks. So, and he hasn't caught a touchdown this year. We know he can do that. So, but we will be taking off, and we appreciate everyone. We hit almost 30 viewers that I think a lot of them on the cell phone. I made it so you have to subscribe to leave a comment there. So yeah, I was getting like 6-7 messages and stuff. So I was like, yeah, there must be like a lot of kids that view content this way, which makes sense. Appreciate you, 50 Cal. And keep the Dynasty content. We'll keep the Dynasty content coming out. Going to be getting into rookies, or 2026 class scouting, which is going to be fun. We'll be back soon. So appreciate everyone, and good luck this week if we don't talk again. See ya.